What's up, guys? Hey, Brother Johnny here with Colin Davis, the Colin Coaches. We're here to lift, look swole, look cute, and talk about masculinity and politics, right?
All sorts of stuff. We're going to take Johnny through an upper workout. Johnny does not bodybuild. I currently do not bodybuild. We're going to do a bodybuilding style workout. It's going to be 2 push, 2 pull, and then an arm superset. And we're going to chat in between sets. I'm excited for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You ready?
I'm ready. I'm
Cool.
a little scared, but because you're
Should be.
huge, so.
Aw.
Well, now what I do is I create manosphere alternative content to inspire men and boys to live lives of authenticity instead of emotional suppression and being inside the man box. And that's what I'm here to chat with Colin about because, dude, hot boys lift and then lift others up.
Truly.
Yeah, so you have recently started to gain social media traction because of your leftist politics and also the way that you stand for all people while being jacked and cool and handsome and and working out, which I feel like the right has co-opted the gym spaces.
Absolutely.
And what can you tell me about that? How has the right been co-opting?
I mean, the right kind of, since 2019, 2020, we saw this like shift in online gym content towards like grind yourself into dust and like you should be in pain all the time and that everyone that's not jacked is a beta soy boy who doesn't deserve any sort of care or empathy, and not coincidentally coincided with Trump's re-election campaign at that time.
Yeah.
And like that's when we kind of saw the online world shift for gym content, I feel. Because like, I don't know, growing up watching fitness YouTube, like being 13, 14 in like 2013, 2014, like it was all just straight up lifting content.
Yeah.
It was like, all right, like here's how to get swole, like here's how to bench, here's how to overhead press, leave it at that. And then all of a sudden everyone was like, actually, I'm a Christian nationalist. And if you're not Catholic and bench pressing, then you're a bad person.
Right.
And like that shift, I think, really hit the generation of boys that are in high school right now.
Absolutely.
So hard. And
Yeah.
like, you do a lot of work with young boys, and like I coached a lot with young boys, and like it just feels very different than when I was a teenager. Like, and it feels like really sudden of like this reversion to like gender essentialism and like back to like Puritanism and like all of this strange stuff that I thought we were like done with in a way, and it's just come back so fast.
Yeah.
And so like that's why I started doing content the way I do it, is because I was like, I'm sick of this thing that I love getting overrun by like these douchebags that should just shut up and like, I don't want to say this phrase, but like kind of just like shut up and lift.
Shut up and lift.
Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I don't necessarily want to be making political content. You know what I mean? Like I've always been politically active and I really enjoy talking about it. But like in an ideal world, this would just be, hey, like here's how you bench and like here's how to get swole. But if other people that are also doing this content are gonna give their shitty, like unwarranted, uneducated opinions, then like I'm gonna give my slightly less shitty, slightly more educated opinions in response.
Yeah.
And if we're using being jacked as like a barometer of intelligence for some reason, then like as a jacked guy, it's kind of like your role, if you disagree, to like disagree with the other jacked guys.
Yeah.
Because they're not gonna listen to anyone else.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I don't think that it's being jacked as a barometer for intelligence. You touched on so much there. First of all, obviously, like young boys, right? The influence of the fitness industry on young men, and being jacked isn't the barometer for intelligence, but looking like a man, because we have a cultural idea of what a man looks like, right? We have a vision of manhood. So I'm going to listen to someone who I think represents manhood, which in this case, especially in this country, is big muscles, right? American masculinity cannot be... It's inextricable from like Hollywood, 80s action movies, bodybuilding culture, Arnold Schwarzenegger, a lot of that stuff, and violence as well. But specifically with your commentary on like, it's gotten worse, it wasn't like that when you were in high school, I think that's because you've always been an athlete. And so with like positive male role models in your life, so I don't think that you needed to engage as much with the type of stuff online that was like how to get jacked or whatever, because that wasn't on your radar. Your radar was like being good at your sport. You were athletic, and as a a boy that has become an athletic man, but in boyhood I was like chubby. Like my parents put me on Weight Watchers when I was 11, and I had to take my points calculator to middle school lunch, bro.
That's brutal.
Yeah. Like, and I was always like some days. One time I was doing a squat during weightlifting class in high school, and some guy walked up to me and fucking bean dipped me, and kids like laughed at me. So I would say like it has become worse because social media has given rise to like the proliferation of information they see and like images of, you know, naked male bodies and like just like bodybuilding stereotypes and all of that. But it's always been there. The idea that like if you're not athletic, if you don't perform physically like a man, then you don't have access to manhood. You didn't warm up at all.
I did. I fully won.
You really?
Yeah.
You did your left arm. That was it.
I did. Right, left. Like the thin blue line flag in the background. A bunch of people are like, dude, like, why the fuck would you train there?
Yeah.
It's like, would you rather just like give up the space,
right,
and like have no pushback on any of these ideas, or like have people that are in the gym that like can have a conversation about it and explain why everyone hates that flag and like the deeper reasoning behind it, instead of just people jumping to the conclusion of like, oh, well, like you're just a fucking Marxist that hates cops.
Yeah.
And it's like, no. Yeah. Yes. And there's good reason.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So working out in a gym and talking about masculinity, body image, politics, all this stuff in a gym where there's a thin blue line and thin red line flag is so amazing because fitness and body image are an equalizer for men today.
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Like that gives you cultural capital within male culture. Just if you are strong or look strong, you got this, big guy. Let's go.
I got like 4 warm-up sets before I can actually do a working set because I'm an old man.
But yeah, like men and boys will listen to you and look up to you if you are physically fit and represent what they think manhood should look like. But this is also really complicated because like my high school boys that I are in my program, like they've said to me, oh, bro's got like ideal physique, or yo, bro's got the white LeBron physique or whatever, right? Like
white LeBron, that's a good one.
I'm like,
I'd be
no.
on that high all day.
Do you keep warming up in 45s?
No, I'm gonna jump up.
Oh, cool. Yeah, for sure, me too. But so it's like, awesome, you think that's cool about me, so you're gonna listen to what I have to say, and also I don't want to make you feel like you need to look like this. Yeah. Right? In order to be valued, in order to have opinions, in order to be cool. So that's a really delicate line that I try to promote with my content, but also in my daily life of like, hey, this is some of what I've chosen for myself. I'm also subscribing to patriarchy in a couple of ways. Yeah. But I want any boy that doesn't care about sports, any boy that doesn't want to get fit or doesn't care about it, like you don't have to feel that way.
Yeah, exactly. And I think something I try to do like with coaching specifically is being like, like I'm doing this for the objective goals. Like I like being strong and I like being able to do cool stuff with my body, and like looking like this is a nice add-on. Yeah. Like it comes along with like being able to go for hikes and like help my friends move their couch and like carry all of my groceries in at one time. Yeah. You know what I mean? And like having big arms is like, oh cool, like I get that also. Right. And it's hard to like not put physique first.
Yeah, you do.
Like, bro. I think, like physique first makes it where you're like, oh, like I hate how I look. Like I'm never gonna like the way I look, because like you're never gonna see a change in one day, and you're gonna look at yourself every single day and look the same every single day. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's like having training be for like the rest of life, like makes training more fun for me. It makes it more accessible for people that like don't have physique goals, because like you don't need them. You know?
I've been thinking a lot about my body as a vessel for service, and like fitness as a vessel for service, right? So I think that, you know, my older sister has chronic illnesses and is disabled because of that. So I've always had this like insider perspective of what is it like to not have physical capability and have limitations on you. So in many ways, like both my fitness and the way that I live my life is like on behalf of my sister and I, and thinking about, you know, like I can help someone move a couch, or I could carry someone if they needed me to. And I've been someone to like tow 3 different people in a kayak and just go for hours because, you know, they get tired or whatever. And I'm like, that is what I was built for. And I, at the same time though, I don't want to feel all the time like my job as a man is always just to like sacrifice my body in order for others. So there's there's this delicate balance, but I do struggle with that of like, if I think I'm a himbo sometimes, where I'm just like, oh shit, all I'm here for is to like be big and carry stuff, but I don't have value otherwise, and so I wrestle with that sometimes myself.
It's I don't know. It was something one of my coaches and mentors said of like, growing up is just realizing everything's gray.
Yeah.
And like you spend so much time trying to like make black and white, right and wrong, good and bad, of like, all right, well, like this is what I'm here to do like as a man, or like this is what I'm here to do like as an athlete.
Yeah.
And then like coming into adulthood and being like, no, like it's all kind of mismatched, and you have to pick and choose like the good aspects out of everything in a way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna take 65s as my last warm up.
Cool. You said you were gonna do, this is your second warm up set.
Yeah. So I'm gonna take this, and then I'm gonna take 80s for my working weight.
Cool. It's cool and important to warm up. We
it is. If you don't warm up, you're fucking dumb.
Yeah.
Respectfully.
Respectfully speaking.
Respectfully, you're stupid.
But I truly believe it doesn't matter what you look like, and I want everyone to feel happy and healthy in their own skin, however that means to them. So I think one of the things that both bodybuilding culture and like the gym and the right are selling boys is this idea that once you get a certain type of physique, everything's gonna be different for you. Like it's gonna change your whole paradigm. You're gonna feel on top of the world. You're gonna fucking be king shit, and it's gonna be so great. Once you have the abs, once you have the big biceps, the big whatever, that's it. You made it, and I think that's a damn lie.
Yeah, and I mean like coming from me, like I've been athletic and jacked like my entire life. Like I started lifting.
Just kidding. just kidding, guys.
I started lifting at 12.
Yeah.
And like I was always like really good at sports and like really swole, and like got that perception of like, oh, like this guy must be like king shit. This guy must be like on top of the world. But like that was when I felt the worst about myself, was like when I was in the best shape or when I was the strongest. Was like that was when I was piling the most self-hatred onto myself that I possibly could to like kind of fuel that, because that's what I thought I needed to like be in that shape.
Yeah.
And so when you're looking at these guys online that are massive, or like you're looking at that guy that's like captain of whatever team, and you're like, holy shit, like he must have it all. It's like he's probably alone and empty and just like making up for it by being really jacked and swole.
Yeah. And
like you getting really jacked and swole is gonna bring you none of those fulfillment needs that like you're looking for out of it.
Yeah.
You know, I had a conversation with a coach who is also the owner of Rascal.
Shout out Rascal.
Shout out Rascal.
Pump covers and dump covers. Rascal.
Omar,
use code Colin.
I forget I have a code. But like he was talking about like when someone comes to you for coaching, like it's indicative of something else in their life.
Yeah.
Like it's an easy way for men to like get help in a way. Is like, oh, like I just need to learn how to bench 315 and then I'll be happy. And it's kind of my job as a coach to like decipher what the deeper reasoning is of like, all right, like you want to get 20-inch arms, but like why?
Right.
And then through coaching, we can kind of like unearth some of that stuff and do like, I call it like secondhand therapy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like you're getting like trickle down therapy from my therapist of like, this is the advice I got to not be sad all the time and also have big muscles.
Right.
Now you get it.
Yeah.
You know, and like that's been really rewarding as a trainer and a coach, is to like get people to like decipher like the reasons behind their fitness goals and like the drivers behind wanting abs or wanting a bigger butt or whatever it is they want. And like you can get the fulfillment that you're looking for out of that fitness goal through internal work.
Right.
You know?
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it better myself.
No,
do you have a rest timer on?
No.
Okay, cool. You just
my rest time is like, I'm not out of breath. I am psychologically ready to do another hard set, and I'm not so cold that I need to warm up again.
Nice.
So like that goes from anywhere from like 30 seconds to like 5 minutes for me.
Cool. I almost never wear headphones in the gym anymore because it is a great community space. It's a great equalizer. There's so many conversations I've had with guys just because like in my rest set, I'll be like, hey, what's up, man? Oh, yo, I see you working hard. Good stuff. What's up? And then we'll strike up a conversation. So I think that part of our podcast and music culture while we work out is that we are distracted from A, being in our bodies, and B, from talking to the person next to you. Like we're all in here for the same reason, to be healthy, to be fit, to work out. So strike up a conversation and make a friend, especially in the age of like male loneliness where we're feeling unfulfilled and like we don't have that many connections. So if you already see someone that's at your local gym, say, yo, what's up? I see you working hard.
Huh?
Nice.
What?
Exactly. taught so many people how to high pull because it's in my program. I'd never high pulled before. But again, the great equalizer, like not listening to music and then seeing what other guys are up to, I'll just willy-nilly be like, hey man, it looks like you're trying to like muscle up right now.
Yeah.
I can't do that either.
Yeah.
I've been working for a couple months on this. Here, have you ever, and a lot of guys have never, they don't know what the high pull is. They don't know you can even set
They don't know like how to regress things. Yeah.
And they don't know how to set a band up. So like, that's another thing that breaks my heart about when I see young men in the gym together, they're working out. A lot of them have headphones on, aren't talking to each other in between sets. They're like taking a snap selfie in the mirror, sending it to 15 different people on the list. And it's like, your boy's right there.
Yeah, hang out
Talk
with the
to
boys.
him.
I feel
or
like,
like, look at his technique, you know, support with him.
I'm a big fan of like this setup where like on off for music. Cause also like when I'm training, like I get a little like psycho and like I'm not like, I don't know. It's hard to like hit the switch without music in a way. Like I don't want to be an asshole.
Of course, no, you're not.
But also like I'm gonna go be an asshole for like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You know? And like also I think being in gyms like 9 hours a day, like I have so much time to talk to everyone that comes in without headphones. It's like my 45 minutes of like my workout where I'm like, please. Please let me get my lift in.
Heard, dude. Get after it.
But I saw that all the time. I used to work at a Gold's Gym. And also like gym culture between corporate gyms and gyms like this is so vastly different. Like working at a Gold's Gym, you'd see guys come in like groups of 6 and do exactly what you're talking about. Where like not speak to each other. Everyone just like takes turns on the machine and they all go home after 2 hours of saying no words to each other. And they're like, damn, like why don't I like feel like I have good friendships? And it's like, well, you gotta like break the ice. You gotta like be the vulnerable one first. And like 90% of the time when you're the vulnerable one first, like it gets met with vulnerability.
Absolutely.
Like the fear is that someone's gonna shit on you or make fun of you, or that your boys are gonna call you whatever name. Never in my experience, and I've got good friends, to be fair. But like almost always in my experience, when you take that first step of being like, hey, like I really liked hanging out today. Like this was a lot of fun. It's gonna get met with like a smile and like, oh dude, like me too.
Absolutely.
And like if it's not, then it's like, oh cool, like I don't have to be friends with you. Like, you know what I mean? Like taking that step makes it super easy to know like, 100%. Oh, like we can be good friends on like a deeper level or not.
And for the guys watching, like you never want to be the friend that puts others down. So a lot of friend groups will have a most fit guy that maybe gets other dudes to come to the gym with him. If you're the most fit guy and you've invited other guys to come with you and you're their inspiration, don't be the one that's always on his headphones or laughs at them if they can't do as much weight. Like show up for them, show them what you know, transfer that knowledge. It's gonna make you feel really good about yourself because you'll realize how much you know and how far you've come in your own fitness journey. And also it's gonna make the gym a much less intimidating experience for them. It's gonna make it more accessible for them to feel better about themselves, to make progress. So if you invite someone and they're only doing dumbbell press for like a little bit, don't point and laugh at them or be like, bro is like only doing one plate, or whatever. Like, that's not a good friend. We can't only relate to other men through teasing. We also have to be uplifting, right? Negative reinforcement has been the script for far too long, and it's time to uplift the boys. You got this. One more rep, not, you only did 7? Come on, soft. Like, don't do that. Don't be that guy.
And the strongest guy in every gym is always the nicest.
Fact.
Like, Marcus is the sweetest dude I've ever met. Because also, everyone at some point was the guy benching one plate. And like, when you are in the gym for so long and you like get up to benching whatever 500, 600 pounds, in no world are you going to be like, oh, like you little dork, like you little bitch, like you can't lift that. It's like, yeah, hell yeah, dude. Like,
get after it.
I'm proud. Like, I'm glad you're in here. Like, that was me. You know, you get to like, it's always the guys in the middle that like to shit down. Because they're insecure about the guys above them. You know, and it's like, I don't know, that culture pisses me off so bad, and it's like something I police really hard with my boys in the weight room. Like when I was doing, like I did strength coaching for like a baseball team. And it was always like, first couple sessions, it would start out like with the like little poking and goading, and then it gets shut down, and like everyone gets so much stronger. Everyone has such a better time. Everyone looks forward to training together when you like eliminate the negative reinforcement and like the teasing and like, oh, like we're just boys being boys. Like, oh, we're just like, this is just how we communicate. And it's like, you don't have to. And I feel like that was my take for the longest is like, I'm just gonna out alpha you, but be nice about it.
That's
versus like completely removing that narrative, and it feels like it's like in a step way of like. I learned it initially as like, because like I don't know, wrestling and fighting culture. It was like you can't say anything to me if you can't beat me in a fight.
Right.
And so like
we describe that as an honor culture. An honor culture is what we live in. That's an honor culture. Yeah.
And so like growing up in that, it was like I can fight. And like I'm happy to.
Yeah.
And so like if you're gonna call my friend a bitch, like I'm gonna beat your ass.
Right.
And then I'm gonna force you to be nice. But like that doesn't actually fix their problem. Now I'm just repeating the same behavior, but like for a better cause or whatever I want to view it as. You know.
That is such an amazing cycle-breaking reflection, because we live in a dominator culture where everything is threat of violence, right? That is the enforcement mechanism of patriarchy. And growing up as a boy, I think you're taught to be hyper-vigilant around like confrontation could equal violence.
Yeah.
And that's another reason why so many men are afraid to call one another out or to have hard conversations, because we have been primed to believe that hard conversation or call out equals conflict, and conflict equals violence. So I believe it is a lot of fear at the root of guys not having like really frank conversations with one another. And so what I like to say, and what I've learned from a nonprofit called A Call to Men, is the idea that we are here to invite men into reflection and accountability instead of indicting men for their behavior, right? So I'm inviting you to say, hey bro, like what's with that language? Or yo, I know you're actually better than that. I've seen you try to make people laugh, and I know you like making people feel good about themselves, but you're using a lot of this language to like make your friends feel bad. What's up with that? That's not who I know you to be. Versus a call out or an indictment of your character, be like, bro, you're always using it. What the fuck are you asshole? What are you doing? Stop saying that stuff all the time. Or if you say that again, I'm gonna beat your ass or whatever, right? And so we need to understand how to have these nuanced, loving conversations with our fellow men to get them to reflect on their behavior, because that's not happening at wide scale right now. There are very few men calling one another in and saying, bro, I see what you're doing, and like, that's maybe not okay. What can we do about this? Right? So one of the things that I love and respect so much about your content and the way that you interact with the world is very much you recognize like, I'm actually not gonna get very far with the audience I need to get to if I say, yo, you're a fucking loser, like you're a bitch, I'm gonna beat you up because like I can bench more than you, ratio, fuck you, right? Like, so us pointing fingers and slinging mud at gym bros on the right or young men that are down the red pill, that's not gonna get them to like us more and listen to what we have to say.
It drives them further into that hole.
So a lot of the leftist gym bros that I've seen have been doing that. They'll like, they're in bodybuilding, they're in powerlifting, they'll deadlift really heavy, and all their content, all their captions will be like, you're a fucking soy boy, like you're a pussy if you XYZ. And I'm like, brother, we're fighting fire with fire. The idea is not to become the counteractive police force within leftism and then punch down on the guys that we think are wrong. Like, the idea is to all of us stop using that type of violent, police-oriented language and mindset and value system that makes men feel vulnerable, makes men feel weak, makes men feel diminished. Because we got to uplift each other. Yeah, I was doing a calisthenics session in New York City a couple weeks ago with a bunch of guys, and I like didn't know them beforehand, but I just showed up to do some calisthenics. There was this guy with tatted up, had a red rum tattoo across his stomach. He had a big speaker. He was playing like some hardcore rap. No one was talking to each other. Very few had headphones on though. So I walk up to that guy and I was just like, yo man, what's up? Thanks for bringing the vibes, my boy. I forgot my speaker. And this guy who was like doing handstand push-ups, all this stuff, mean mugging, breaks out into a smile. He's like, yo, that's what's up. Made a friend. He's like, I'm Alex. I'm Johnny. What's up? And then he taught me how to do a couple moves. Like, it was really sick.
But dude, I feel like, I don't know, I grew up like in like hardcore and punk scenes, and like seeing like all these really like throat like fucking like tattooed eyelids, like piercings, like scary ass looking dudes, and then being like, hey man, like how are you? And then being like, oh hey, like it's so nice to meet you. Like, they are always the sweetest people, and they just like look so scary at first, because it's like we have this idea of like, oh well, like you're a criminal if you've got throat tattoos and like you've got red rum written on your stomach. And then you just like, again, like we were saying earlier, like you take that first step to like be nice, and it's 100% of the time with the scary looking people always met with niceness.
I'm at the point in my life where I would be more scared to walk around like the University of Alabama frat row than dudes in golf polos and like that.
If you've got Sperry's and high top Nikes on, like I am more intimidated than if you have an entire bodysuit.
Dude.
Not intimidated. Like, I'm like, you're gonna be mean to me. Like,
true. Intimidated or just like scared. The Brock Turners of the world. But I think if you're a young man watching this and you're like, your friend group is based around teasing, I would invite you to think about how you could just calibrate it 10% more towards uplifting one another. So if you're constantly, like, think about this, worrying about if your friends will maybe like tease you or you're gonna be the butt of the joke, that's creating a sense of hypervigilance where you're actually not as safe in your relationships as you think. And based on statistics of how many young men and boys are taking our own lives, we don't feel as connected to our peers as we claim to be. So even if you have a bunch of boys that you regularly go to the gym with, I'm gonna invite you to reflect on like how often you're truly uplifting them and being like, hey man, you mean a lot to me. I'm grateful for your friendship. All right, let's get this next set or whatever. Doesn't mean no teasing's allowed. It just means think a little bit about the ratio or that percentage. Is it 50%, 50%, 90-10? Or do you guys only tell each other that you care about one another when you are drinking or like something else? So think about it.
Hey, Johnny's making all these beautiful, eloquent points. I'm dying. Fighting for my fucking life over here.
You're doing so good. You're doing so good.
Oh, I hate Atlanta. No. I apologize to the Atlanta people. Fuck, I hate Atlanta.
What do you hate about Atlanta? Be specific. Cop
Driving.
City? Driving?
Cop City, like.
It should be recreational.
Yep.
It should, like, why is weed still illegal in Atlanta?
There you go.
It's fucking crazy. Like,
yeah.
And just like everything's 30 minutes away.
Truly.
Every single thing. If it shows up on 5 minutes on the map, I'm driving 45 minutes.
Yeah.
And like the car-centric infrastructure of Atlanta is, I think, really my biggest gripe of like, it could be such an incredible community-oriented city if there wasn't a 5-lane highway across every fucking road in the downtown.
Truly.
You know, like you've got people going 70 miles an hour next to like cafes and bars. And it's like, make this a 2-lane road with a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit with outdoor seating.
Yeah.
And the city will be filled with people outside hanging out, talking to each other. Like,
when we have walkable infrastructure, when we have spaces, third spaces designed for people to spend time together and easily accessible to get from home to work to school to these third spaces, then we see crime go down, we see overall happiness go up, we see people experiencing better levels of community connection, especially in a world where like on the internet I can start scrolling and there's some like rich dude telling me I'm a fucking loser if I don't have a Lamborghini, if I don't have a car, I need to strive for cars, and you're a loser, poor if you take the bus or if you take the subway or whatever, these places are dirty, like that's where, you know, that is low-key, high-key propaganda to get me to think like I should never try to meet my neighbors or like walk around places.
And then people like, those same rich guys go visit Europe and they're like, "Whoa, the culture! Oh my God, it's beautiful! Oh, I love these cities." And it's like, you can't design a city like that in America. It's illegal. Like the road requirements that we need and the parking space requirements that cars take up and car lobbies force on people, like, do not allow for European style cities to thrive in America. And like, we were just in Philly and like, there's sections of Philly that are like 1-lane road, raised sidewalk. Everyone loves it. You can walk outside. There's 40 people on the sidewalk at any point in time.
Yeah.
And then you go 10 minutes over to like the 4-lane highway and there's nobody. Because it's like, why would I want to walk next to cars that are driving 50 miles an hour
it's scary.
And might hit me?
Yeah.
Like when I could go hang out in this beautiful little neighborhood that's got like brick and like a small tiny roadway and like mopeds. Like, and it's, I mean, an American culture and American propaganda that keeps people being like, oh, well, freedom is being able to choose which F-150 I can drive.
Right.
It's like, that's cool, but you know what would be cool is like being able to travel for free across the entire East Coast on a high-speed rail.
That'd be sweet.
That'd be way more freeing to me.
Yeah.
No, Johnny was just asking me about my time coaching wrestling and coaching baseball. I did wrestling and baseball coaching for like 5 years combined, with like 13 or 11 to 18-year-old boys. And talking about like what I think people would be surprised to know is like most of them are little boys. Like we see teenage boys as like menaces in a way, and like that's how they're portrayed a lot in popular culture, in movies and media, is like, oh, well, like there's the hoodlums like driving around causing trouble. And most of them are still tiny little boys. Like when you talk to them, like they're sweet and like sensitive and need like some nurturing. And then they like hit high school and all of a sudden they're like, oh shit, like I have to be a man right now. And they learn how to be a man through sports mainly and through like being friends and now with the internet. And all of that advice is be big and strong and intimidating and assert yourself as a dominant force in a room. That's how you become a real man. And so you have these scared, sensitive little boys trying to figure out how to be scary and like how to come into themselves, and they don't know how, and so it just comes off as being mean to each other because they're like, well, this is what I have to do to like be a man or like be respected in this culture. And I think when you talk to them one-on-one, because you do a ton of work with young boys, and when you get them away from this idea of what they have to be, they are so kind and like nice to each other when they're like told that it's okay, and like when they're allowed to do that and not get made fun of by like adult men.
Right.
Because like, I don't know, like I had a lot of coaches and like male teachers that were like, you like hug your friend and they'd walk by and be like, oh yeah, your boyfriend, you and your boyfriend going home, which is also homophobic in a way, because it's like, okay, you're like, yeah, what if that was my boyfriend? Like, you know, like now I'm never gonna tell you anything.
Right.
And like all of those little jabs that they get from like, like dads and uncles and coaches, like bleeds so deep into like how they think they have to interact. I remember vividly being in 7th grade at a football practice and standing like this.
Yeah, one just freaking
Well, like
just
the hand,
up, bro.
the hand like this.
Yeah, the hand just stands up.
Like it's comfortable. Like I love standing like this. And like someone walked by and was like, dude, why are you standing like a fucking faggot?
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
my bad.
Never
Excuse
mind.
me.
And then I stood like at attention like this in public for like 8 years.
Yeah.
And then it was like, realized I was like, that guy was an asshole.
Yep.
Like that was not a fault of mine.
Yeah.
But as a 12, 13 year old, like you have no way to discern when someone's being mean. You're just like, oh, like that's just what it is.
Yeah, those are the rules. Those are the rules of manhood. This is the rules of society. And notice that had an impact on you for years to come. Change your behavior, change the way that you thought about yourself and your self-perception in public spaces, how you move through the world, has a lasting impact, because adult male figures are really, really influential on us, even with these comments that no one thinks twice about, because those are just normalized in our current culture.
Yeah.
We have a culture that vilifies boyhood. We hate boys in our culture. And what I mean by that specifically is we encourage boys to rush into manhood.
Yeah.
A lot of the insults that we have, soy boy, or you're my son, you know, son, the way that this infantilization element, that like it is shameful to be a boy. Oh, you don't have hair on your nuts yet, or XYZ. Like a lot of the ways that we tease and denigrate other men is based around comparing them to boyhood, right? You should be the mature adult alpha masculine man. And so we have a lot of, as you said, boys who are being told by the world right now to be more expressive, to be more emotional, and we don't have a culture of adult men who are modeling that for them, right? The average adult guy does not have close, affectionate friendships where he's like, yo, it's so good to see you, man. Like they're not seeing that enough to understand that is the normal. But when we model that for boys, it is amazing what happens.
Yeah.
When they're just like, oh wait, I just saw this like cool 25-year-old guy that lifts a lot, tell his friend he loves him. Sick, I'm gonna go tell my guys. Like it's normal now.
Yeah.
So we have to model for boys what we expect from them.
Yeah, and model it in every setting, because it's also hard for me like to modulate like when I go into a wrestling room or like when I go to a football practice to not like revert back to like who I was when I was doing that sport or when I was doing that activity, and like be unabashedly myself and like have those same expressions, because there's still that deep-seated fear and like I don't know if better word, fear of like not being accepted or like getting made fun of or being outcast for being different, when like that's what they need to see as the examples of like being an old man. And like most of these older men are doing these activities because of how they were conditioned in the 80s and 90s when they were a teenage boy. And when they get back to being a coach, like we had a conversation before the camera rolled about like most coaching job qualifications is like, oh, you used to play this sport? Go coach the high school baseball team. Yeah. And so now you're like probably acting very similarly to how you did when you were a 16-year-old playing baseball, coaching these young boys on how to play baseball, and just repeating the same cycles that left you unhappy and repressed in your life. And like fully unconsciously, I think, for a lot of men. Yeah. I think when we have a lot of these conversations, it's easy to vilify these older men as being like, oh, like you are intentionally putting down young men and you are intentionally hurting people's feelings. When it's like, no, like that's also just how they're surviving. Right. And like that's how they know how to interact with the world. They don't know anything different. And you can vilify them once you give them the opportunity to change, and they don't. But until they have that opportunity and they have that knowledge, like they are also still like mentally young boys, you know?
Yeah, there's developmental stunting that occurs. I love that you said that. And I think it's a culture of conformity. It is a fear-based response. I don't want to feel the emotion of shame associated with being outcast or being other in our current culture. And so I'm going to perform manhood to get acceptance.
Exactly.
And I think another thing with older men is that when, and even just men of our age, right? Like in your 20s, if you're an adult man that then goes in to mentor or coach boys, it is easy for that same wound to flare up of like, I want to conform and get liked and be validated by like boys. And so sometimes I think it can be quite intoxicating. Like I know I struggle with that a lot when in my first year of mentoring boys in high school, when they first saw me, were like, oh, bro has like ideal physique. Oh, you used to play rugby? Like, oh my God, yeah, I played. And then I like thought about it and I'm like, I haven't been a rugby player in a couple of years, but they seem really interested in this and it feels good to be acknowledged for these qualities of masculinity that I didn't get acknowledged for in high school. So in my first year, I did like play into that instead of saying like, oh, it wasn't a huge or rugby's not super close to my heart anymore or whatever. Like I actually started playing it because I was scared and I wanted people to think I was tough and I thought my South African father would like me more. Didn't work, but like but I was like and I played internationally in Shanghai for the Shanghai Dragons when I was abroad. And I just
it's easy to kind of like. Go to because you're like I want to be cool.
Exactly.
Like, I want to be cool. Like
but like in that same vein though, the baseball coach or the football coach that is being cruel or administering some of these things reflexively and maybe not even intentionally, that's his wound of never feeling accepted and also believing that boys need tough love. Tough love is the only way to encourage or grow a young man, and that's just not the case. We've never existed in a culture where there's a balance between tough love and positive reinforcement, right? So we've never experimented with that, which is ironic considering how many adult men now think that our generation is soft and we get participation trophies and we've like never had to do anything hard in our lives, blah, blah, blah. It's a completely bullshit narrative, right? And because we've never had a culture where you've told me, good job, you got this, I believe in you. And also like, you can cry for a little bit, but also like, I believe in you. You can do one more. I promise you can do this, So that's what we need more of.
I lucked out in the dad game in that scenario because like I did get that. Yeah. Like shout out my fucking dad.
Shout out Mr. Davis.
Steve, you rule. He was a professional tennis player and coach for like 12 years. And like throughout all of my athletics, he was like, hey, like this is really hard. And like you're gonna really try to have to like push yourself and like learn a lot. And it's also like you're gonna cry a lot. And like things are gonna be bad and like that's fine. You can cry and you can also do hard things. Like they don't work without each other.
Right.
Like you kind of need both.
Wow.
Like if you're gonna push yourself really hard, you need an emotional release in the other part of your life so that you can do hard work. Like if you're repressed all the time, then you're gonna associate hard work with like these terrible negative feelings that you don't know how to deal with. So like deal with those and then you can go be even better at your sport. And I think through coaching, like I've carried that like with young boys because it's like, it's so true. Like you need that release and you need to be in touch with yourself so that you can go work hard. Like every world champion of whatever respective sport is in therapy. Like LeBron has a like psychologist. Like they all have full mental health teams to support their athletic endeavors. And at the lower levels of sports to tell boys like, oh, like you're being a baby or like you need to toughen up. Like you're not even modeling what the best athletes are doing.
Truly.
You know what I mean? Like if you're looking at it just from a performance perspective, you're also stunting their growth. Not only are you hurting them emotionally, you're also hurting what they want to be doing physically. And like, I think that's a good way that I've explained it to a lot of dads is being like, hey, like, like Tom Brady, like that guy that you idolize and love. He's been in therapy for like a decade. Like he's got an at-home psychologist that he talks to probably weekly and like a full team to like help him deal with his emotions. And like, that's not weakness, that's him being like him making room to go be a great athlete. Like you need that balance.
I think that's amazing. I'm very grateful for your dad. Really, truly grateful for your dad.
I kind of forget because like I live in this bubble of like male friendships that I guess are not the norm. But have been for like many years for me of like, like we all hug each other. We all tell each other we love each other. Like we've all seen each other cry. Like, and that's just kind of like the base level of how we all interact and exist. And so it's like jarring sometimes to like interact with dudes in other friend groups where they're like mean to each other. I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, that was rude. Like, you're gonna talk to your friend like that?
And for
like, and yeah, to your point earlier, like, getting to be like, hey man, like, doesn't it feel way better like when you tell him that you love him, like you really do, instead of like trying to hide it behind like mean humor.
Right.
Like,
and it doesn't even have to be that serious of like, hey, tell him you love him more.
Yeah.
Because some guys that's a little too uncomfortable for them, but just be like, yo man, aren't you grateful for him?
Yes.
Like, yeah, isn't he's the boy, right? Like,
yeah.
But that's just the power of modeling it for like, what would you say to guys who are in those friend groups and not like the ones that you guys have cultivated, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
how do they get there to hug the homies, to feel uplifted? Like, what would you say?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I think it's like not being afraid to be the vulnerable one.
Right.
Because like most guys are all feeling it of like, damn, like I wish I could do that. Like I wish I could act that way, but like I can't because like my friend's gonna shit on me or like my friend's gonna feel weird about it. And 90% of the time, you and your homie are both thinking the exact same thing of like, damn, like I really wish that I could tell this guy that I loved him or like that he like means a lot to me as a friend. And he's just like, you're both waiting on each other to take the first step in a way.
Yeah.
And just like having the confidence to like take that first step and like be the one to like break that barrier is going to make it so easy for your friend to do it in return.
Yeah.
And it just takes a little bit of scariness. Like it takes a little bit of fear getting over to be like, hey dude, like you mean so much to me. Like, thank you for like hanging out with me, or like, thanks for being my friend for the last however many years you've been friends without acknowledging it, you know?
I think
just
right.
like modeling it and being like, I use just like myself as an example a lot with other dudes of being like, oh, like, yeah, like I tell my homies that I love them constantly,
right?
Like all the time. And it makes me feel really good. Like, because like I'm not even necessarily doing it for my friend. Like I want to say that I love you. Like that makes me feel better at the end of the day for like you to just know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. What you said is perfect because it takes bravery to be the man that you want in the world, like that you want in your life. You have to be that man. You have to be brave.
Yeah.
It takes courage. It takes courage to break through the vulnerability and the possible fear of rejection in order to get those friendships that you're craving. Don't let yourself be friends in a capacity that's just sending reels back and forth about, oh, building lore with the homie. Like if it never makes it out of the Instagram reel DMs and you're using this other form of media as a proxy for your own communication and your own genuine sentiment about your friends, then that's like you're not experiencing that same level of emotional fulfillment. So if you want to build the lore with the homies, if you want to feel close enough to someone that you could call them in an oh shit moment, you have to start practicing that in more regular day-to-day ways.
And then like genuine ways. I feel a lot of like sincerity gets lost when it's like joking.
Yes.
Where it's like I don't know, I still send these reels to my friends because they're funny.
Me too.
But it's like, oh, like I'm gonna touch you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, or like the homoerotic joking between friends. It's like that's making every semblance of physical contact or emotional like openness with each other now gay. Right. Which is bad. You can't do that.
Right.
Which is a whole other topic, but like doing it genuinely and being like, I am going to give you a hug when I see you because I love you. Not like no jokey shit, no haha, no funny shit. Like I love you, and like making it very clear that like this is not ironic, this is not a meme, this is a genuine expression of my feelings for you.
Right.
Like I think that was like a big like a jump for me and my friends of like going from it being like ha ha ha, like it's all funny, to being like no, like genuinely, like you matter to me so much, and like the tone matters a ton. Because I think a ton of guys are doing that like Instagram reel back and forth friendship of like, oh, I love the bros, but it's then like some like meme underneath that makes it like kind of undercuts the message. Yeah. And like making that step into genuine connection and genuine expression, like that's the biggest like shift I noticed.
I think that we as men have become so much more accustomed to using humor as a way to diffuse any presence of emotion and humor as a vehicle for communicating things. And it's okay, being funny and laughing and all that is awesome, but don't let it sit there. Don't let all of your genuine sentiments only exist through this communication of humor. And I'll also say that, you know, the homoerotic jokes and the homosocial behavior, the ass slapping, locker room sports, you know, oh, but send this to the homie, you would kiss goodnight. Or, you know, when you started lifting and you thought it would attract like girls, but instead it just attracts the boys. Or, you know, man, my homie's been looking big, you better quit, make me act up, right? Like all of those homoerotic jokes, it's so ironic because like you're right, like homophobia is so present,
and
that becomes the only way that we could even compliment a guy. Bro, you're looking juicy these days. You know, like it becomes this flirtation thing from a bunch of straight guys. And like, I'm a queer man, but I can earnestly tell someone like, bro, you look beautiful, or like, yo, you're looking strong. I see the hard work. What's up, man? Like, and that feels, I don't feel insecure about saying that. I used to feel a lot more because I was worried about how it'd be perceived, but now I have such strong self-esteem that if another man, if he feels somewhat uncomfortable by my earnestness in an effort to uplift him, and he's only accustomed to the like teasing culture and homoerotic shit, that's kind of his problem. And it's my responsibility to continue to model for him like what is possible in the world. Right? Like what's possible through, like it doesn't have to be like that, you know?
And it's like, I don't know. There's so many things to touch on in that one statement, but like, having this still view of like gay is bad. Is like, oh, like math is gay.
How did bodybuilding culture start?
Exactly. Like bodybuilding was founded by gay men for gay men. Like.
Not just because of aesthetics, but because like we want to get big and strong because straight men are beating us up so much.
And
straight
also
men are hate criming us.
Like the 80s, 90s bodybuilding was used as like a way to like fight against like AIDS, of being like, hey, like all of us are being viewed as like these sickly, tiny, like weak men. We have an opportunity to like prove that wrong with our bodies. And like, getting men to just be cool with like legitimately having gray area in their sexuality and not being like, oh, like I need to be straight. I need to be straight.
I'm so straight, bro, I promise.
Where it's
that's what catcalling is too. There's all these different ways in which we're trying to signal to other men around us. Hey, did you notice that I saw that girl? Did you notice? You noticed I noticed her, right?
I saw
a girl. I saw a girl. I promise I'm straight, bro. I'm so straight. Please, bro. Please, bro. I'm so straight, bro. Please.
And like leaving that behind made me feel so much more secure in myself, and like, again, like making it being like, oh, like that's kind of his problem if he has a problem with me like saying that his chest is big, or like, yo, like I like your shirt. Like I get like, I don't know, it's also the South, but like I've been called the faggot so many times for like being like, yo, like I like your belt. Or like, yo, like those are nice shoes. And it's like, that's the line? It's like, I can't even do that and be gay? Like, sure, then like, that's
Sign
fine.
me up.
Sure, I'm in. Like, they're having way more fun.
When I was first in college, I was a freshman in college, it was before, again, I couldn't do my first pull-up until I was 19 years old. So all through high school, I tried playing soccer. I did for a couple of years, but I just wasn't super coordinated, wasn't athletic, and didn't get some of that social capital from being a physically like strong, fit guy. So because of that, I got like hate crimed. I got abused by other guys, right? For first party I went to in college, this really drunk frat guy shoved me off of 3 steps and I fell down. And he was like, we don't let faggots in here. And like shoved me down. And then his non-drunk, like he was a senior, non-drunk junior was like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Like here, no, you can come in, dude. Like because they saw the optics of what happened. But like I've been also followed home in Ohio. I was visiting a friend at Bowling Green University, also my freshman year of college. And this group of guys in a truck started following me home and like yelling the F slur at me and yelling at me just like slowly while I was walking along the side of the walk. I've been chased out of bars before by groups of guys that just come up to only me because I'm hanging out with like lots of girlfriends and whatever. They'll just target me because I'm a tall guy too. All these things happened to me until I grew like bigger, and I realize now like so much of my ability to feel safe and comfortable around other men is my size. So I have so much more compassion, A, because I've lived it as like not that, but B, I have a lot more compassion for other men that like don't feel that secure. And as we said, like a lot of confrontation in male culture equates to violence. So like that is a very legitimate fear. So it is up to men of like you and I and Joe B and Taryn Budworth and, and Coach Tim and Josh Kennedy and all the homies and Carlos Monteon Jr. to model the world we want to see and invite other men to be whatever type of men they want to be. You don't have to look like us, but we are going to hold everyone accountable to being kind, being compassionate, treating other people well.
I think that's all that really matters is like, how do you interact with people? Like, how do you make other people feel like in your day-to-day life? Like, again, shout out my dad. He used to drop me off for school every day and be like, hey, make someone else's day better today. And like, that's such an easy thing to try to do every single day is like, I'm just going to go, like, I'm going to make one person smile today. Like, I'm going to go out and try to make one person's life a little bit easier today. And like, for everyone also, like, a lot of what we're talking about is for young men specifically, because I think like that's a group that needs a lot of guidance for it. But like, it's for young men, it's like not just helping other young men. It's like not just helping other bros on your football team. It's not just helping other guys that are like in the gym with you. It is like every single person you interact with in every scenario. It's at the grocery store. It's at the gas station. It's walking down the street. It's all the time. And you will be so much happier because of that interaction than you ever were walking around being like, oh, like, look at that bitch. Like,
yeah.
You know, like that, you walk around hating yourself all the time because you're hating everyone else all the time.
Yeah. I love, like, that's the thing with a lot of, I think, right-leaning guys that believe in punching down and calling this other group of men, you're not men, you're soy boys, you're betas, you're whatever. Like, and then sometimes we'll also say, oh, it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, bro, veteran suicide or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like, bro, you hate men. And then sometimes, like, there's a lot of the more Maha type guys in the men's work and men's coaching space that interact with me on Instagram. And they'll say, you don't care about men. I guess you hate men, right? You're just pushing your anti-manosphere agenda. Like, you hate men. And I'm like, brother, I love men more than you do.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I'm kind to men. I'm kind to all men, even if they don't look like me, even if they don't share some of my same beliefs. Like, I want a world where all different types of men can exist, because that's also a better world for me.
Yeah.
Right? I have a better time when the barista greets me with a smile, when, like, the guy at the gas station, when, like, the dad at the sporting event, when men are okay and doing well, it makes my life better.
Yeah.
It makes the world safer. So that's the world that I want. And if you, as a man, have decided there's this other category of, like, untouchables, undeserved, that don't fit into the man box, fuck them. You're contributing to the men's mental health crisis. You're contributing to male suicide. You're contributing to that. You're doing that. If you only ever tease your boys, they don't feel safe around you, bro. I promise you. Even if, like, a lot of comments that'll be like, oh, all the boys know it's all love at the end of the day, like, whatever. They don't.
They don't.
Statistically speaking, they don't.
Yeah, they don't. But it's, I don't know. I feel like it's changing. We're getting a pendulum swing.
Yeah.
There's more and more men like you out in the world that are, like, coming into themselves and, like, feeling confident to, like, push back against these ideas without fear of violence, or even with fear of violence, and being like, yeah, if that's what it takes, like, fuck it. Like, I don't know, I've gotten my ass beat plenty of times, and I've been in a lot of fights, or it's like, if that's what it's gonna be, then, like, that's what it's gonna be. If you feel like you need to try to hit me over me, like, telling you to like people and, like, be kind to people, then, like, that's fine. Like, I'll eat that punch. Like, you know, and I think for so long it was just a lot of guys being like, I don't want to get my ass beat. Like, I don't want this confrontation, because, like, these guys are psychos and they don't care, and, like, they will hurt me. And it takes a lot of bravery to, like, come out of that and to be like, actually, go for it. Like, I wish a motherfucker would.
Truly.
Like, and not everyone has that gift, and not everyone has that ability to, like, put themselves in harm's way, in a sense. And I think both of us, because of how we're built and how we look, have an opportunity to, like, be a little bit more, like, in danger.
For sure.
In that sense, to be like, I wouldn't want to fight you. Just, like,
just
off the vibes test, I'm gonna be like, not that guy. Like, I'm gonna go do someone else. And, like, that makes it a lot easier to, like, step in and, like, check other men's behaviors, because there's that initial, like, oh, okay. All right, I don't want to throw hands with you. Versus, like you were saying, like, growing up, like, being chubby or, like, being smaller, like, it's super easy for guys to just be like, shut up, like, get out of my face, fuck you. And for other jacked guys, like, it's on us in a way of, like, we're the ones, like, at the forefront of, like, doing this confrontation.
Put your body on the front lines. The swoletariat belongs on the front lines to defend other people. That is our responsibility. Also, like, dude, my dad used to put me in arm bars and hurt my body to get me to stop crying. Like, he used to, like, hurt me to make me stop showing emotion. So there's literally nothing you can do to me that is, like, worse than feeling a sense of fear for bodily safety around just expressing emotions. I have worked too damn hard to be able to reclaim my full presence of emotions and be able to cry at joyful things when I meet my friend's new baby, when I, like, all of these. That's the richness of human life. I'm never going back there. I'm never going back to the emotional prison. I'm never gonna confine myself. And I want as many men and boys as possible to come with me out there. So I'm not scared of getting, like, whacked in the face, but I also believe in the art of nonviolent communication. I've seen it work where, because of my presence, I can be like, yo, dude, like, we're all hugs, actually. Like, you know, there's guys at bars or whatever that, you know, use the word bitch or something. I'm like, bro, it's the big 2-5. We don't say bitch. He's like, he's like, I do. I was like, not in front of me, you don't. And he's like, oh yeah, okay, that's
Johnny traveled all the way down to North Carolina, not just for me to come visit his new friend's baby and see a bunch of other friends and family, but I'm very glad that we got to chat. If you don't follow Johnny, follow Johnny. It's at Johnny. Hey Johnny.
At Hey Brother Johnny.
At Hey Brother Johnny, and then also at Hey Brother Co.
Yeah.
He does a ton of really, really important outreach work for young men and is an exemplary man to follow if you're looking to expand your ideas on masculinity and how to come into the world as a fully realized man instead of just a jacked bro.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad we got to lift and chat and shoot the shit, and hopefully we'll be running into each other more.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, brother. And follow Colin Coaches and Colin Davis for all of your gym content, how to self-develop, and again, the same thing, like how to be the best man that you want to be, leftist politics, a lot of good stuff. And I just really appreciate your presence and who you are in the world, and be cool and nice.
Be cool and nice.
Be cool and nice. I love you, brother. Yeah.
I love you too, man. This is awesome.